as they linger. In the quiet they cry. Amy and Adam with a question. Why? Oh, why? Hearts wide open, mind so clear. Kindred spirits calling through the night. Empathy and logic guiding lost light. Kindred spirits setting wrongs to right. They don't fear the whispers. They don't run from the cold.
Welcome to Paranormal Playback, the podcast where we recap the spooky, sometimes cringeworthy, but mostly entertaining world of paranormal reality TV. I'm Charlie Holly.
I'm Melanie Malone.
And I'm Lauren Sanders.
Okay, guys, we are finally done with Ghost Adventures. And as much as I love our bros, it is time for some, empathetic, nurturing,
Positive energy.
positive ghost hunting.
Non-provoking.
With Kindred Spirits. We are so excited. You guys have probably gotten sick of Lauren and I referencing Kindred Spirits every 5 seconds.
I've,
What is
never
all this
seen-
Kindred Spirits about?
Yeah.
So,
Yes. So for the month of August, you will be getting some Kindred Spirits. So let us know what you think. We know we're
Mhm.
pivoting from our normal, Ghost Adventures, but we need to, shake it up, break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling it, let us know. If you're not feeling it and you are like, where is my Zach? Let us know.
also let us know.
Yeah.
We're open to feedback. We're open to ideas. If there's other shows you want us to cover,
We'll put a poll in this episode. If you're listening on Spotify, there'll be a poll asking how you guys feel.
yeah, we're hoping to soon get into like Dead Files and Psychic Kids, and we plan on watching Practical Magic. So, let us know if you have other suggestions. And as always, please, rate, review, subscribe, hit us up on TikTok.
Hit
Share
that
with-
follow button.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Everybody.
The shadow community is very welcome. There's plenty of room in these creepy corners for everybody. Come on in.
We know that a lot of people like to hide in the shadows, but we need them to come on over and give us a listen.
Join our shadows. Hide in our shadow.
Yes.
Not our shadow, like you're in our
No,
like you're in your big sister's shadow kind of
we
thing.
We will let you shine.
or inside your shadow.
Okay, now we're getting weird. But as always, you can also call us at 404-981-4533. I know this might seem intimidating, but leave us a voicemail and tell us your ghost stories. It's so much better to hear it from your own perspective.
Yes, and
I'd love to hear it.
It is just a voicemail line. The inner millennial and myself, and I don't know about Charlie and Lauren feeling the same. I get anxiety about calling people.
Yeah.
And, I hide when someone rings the doorbell.
You could call us like 6 times every time you mess up recording. You could call us back. Like we're not sitting there monitoring it. Just leave some voicemails and then
it can be anonymous. You don't have to give us your name.
Tell us who you are, but we do want your ghost story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Send it on over.
Yeah, maybe do like a what's the fucking Dear Abby, where it's like signed Sleepless in Seattle. That's all I can think about. I couldn't think of anything creative. Spooky in St. Louis. I don't know.
Broken Delaware.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So we've got Kindred Spirits Season 1, Episode 1, Breaking and Entering on deck for tonight.
B&Es.
Well, Kindred Spirits started back in 2016, and it is a show that is close to both mine and Lauren's hearts. because it is the polar opposite of Ghost Adventures in almost every way. The hosts are caring and empathetic. They are respectful of people, both living and dead. Adam and their psychic friend, Chip Coffee, who is not in this episode, but is part of this show, both happen to be queer. And Amy is a woman. So it's a very different perspective than our Ghost Adventures bros coming in and provoking and screaming.
So when I was watching this episode, I kept on like going back to Ghost Adventures, and what it reminded me of is like dating, like coming from a toxic relationship and
oh
go
my God.
and starting to
Oh
date
my God,
somebody
yeah.
who's not toxic, and
Uh-huh.
like comparing the two of being like, oh, this is what a normal relationship is like. This like and just like going and just comparing
But then
what like
also possibly being like a little bit used to the toxicity and being like, oh, I kind of miss when he took control. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but just
You're
like
so right.
just
Oh my
like
God.
like, oh, you're so soft.
yeah.
You know, yell a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah. I like it when you do it this way.
yeah, you can yell
Yeah.
a little bit, you know?
Yeah, provoke me. No,
Yeah.
it's funny when you said that. I just reading. I wrote like a stream of consciousness for just the intro, basically, and I wrote like, "Yay, a woman! Yay, queer community! Rescuing families! Love! Oh my God, help! So many pleasant words in the intro.
Yeah. Yeah, like actually helping.
Helping, solving problems.
Yeah, it's like,
Um,
yay.
But before we get into the episode's haunted drama, I wanted to take a second to talk about Kindred Spirits crew, who is Adam Berry and Amy Bruni, who were in this episode, and then also Chip Coffee. Because if anyone's going to talk a ghost off a metaphorical ledge, it's these three. No, but so first up, we've got Adam Berry. He got his start. I did not know this about Adam, so this is fascinating. He got his start on Ghost Hunters Academy, which I'm like, is this a show that we need to watch?
Yeah.
Basically, it's reality TV's answer to ghost hunting grad school, or an America's Next Top Medium, if you will.
Like America's Next Top Model.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's literally the joke, Lauren.
Oh my God.
So he won the whole thing and then got pulled into Ghost Hunters, the TV
Wait,
show.
I need to see this show.
Right? So like we need to add this to our list. I don't know. Maybe this will be a good like something to watch during the holidays.
I didn't know that he was a medium.
I don't know if he is a medium. I don't know. Look, ChatGPT said America's Next Top Medium, not me.
I believe ChatGPT though.
Well, no, it's like I don't think it means he's a medium. I took it as ghost hunting grad school, ghost hunting academy, like a America, like it's a reality show for ghost school.
Yes.
I didn't take it as like he's a medium.
But anyway, the point is, this sounds very interesting. He eventually teamed up with Amy to start Kindred Spirits. He has a theater background, which honestly makes sense because he approaches ghosts like they're misunderstood supporting characters who just need a little screen time. He's calm, patient, and actually seems like he wants to help, which is rare in a genre built on screaming and night vision. Back to Amy Bruni. So she is the backbone of the whole show. She's super grounded, super smart. She did a bunch of seasons on Ghost Hunters as well. But Kindred Spirits is really where she leans into her whole ghost detective with a heart vibe. She is big.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry. So ghost hunters, are they like the arch nemesis of Ghost Adventures?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm pretty sure that Ghost Hunters was on prior to Ghost Adventures, but I never actually watched.
That was the one I had heard of.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I've watched an episode or two of Ghost Hunters, but I never really got into it. Did you watch it, Lauren?
I recently saw like their live Ghost Hunters. Did you watch their like live Ghost Hunter stuff? that like came on the Travel Channel.
Oh yeah, they started in 2004.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're like in countdowns, like these live ghost things where they were like investigating like super haunted homes, like in New England, where you could like tap in to like on your computer,
Yeah, like you could see it all happening in real time.
like real time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only experience I ever had, but never actually saw any kind of pre-recorded shows.
Honestly, I may have watched an episode of Ghost Adventure or Ghost Hunters when it came out. Like,
I think it was
back in cable
closer.
days.
Yeah, I think it was closer to Fear, which is what you had been
Mhm.
talking about. So,
Oh my god, I can't wait till we do MTV Fear one day.
yeah. That's also on our list. But again, back to Amy. So she's big on historical context, emotional closure, and occasionally a haunted bed and breakfast because she also runs a company that turns ghost tourism into luxury travel.
Hmm.
I don't know the name of this company. I think we need to look it up.
She
Um,
she has like a ghost travel company, like
Yeah.
spooky
hold on.
tours.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But how do you travel with ghosts?
Ooh, it's called, she also runs a paranormal travel company called Strange Escapes.
Probably she just is a travel agent for
Right.
locations.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, does she
was
go with you and like explain?
Investigates.
Okay, I think we need to look into it because if she does any of this, I feel like we need to go on a Strange Escape.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have to. So, okay,
Oh my
good.
goodness.
Good to know.
Guys, if we ever meet all these people, they're all going to hate me because I'm a skeptic.
No, they won't. That's the thing about the ghost community is that
Very
like
welcoming.
everybody's kind of skeptical. Not everybody, clearly not Zach, but a lot of people are skeptical and respect like a healthy skepticism. So,
Well, hopefully mine's healthy.
yeah.
We
But
need to do coffee with coffee though.
oh my God.
Oh my god.
Can we please do that?
Yes.
Yes. So Amy's out here trying to solve 19th century ghost problems and somehow making it look relaxing, which I totally agree. She very much does. And then there's Chip Coffee, who we could do fish and chip with Chip or coffee with coffee. He is a psychic medium, Southern, and unapologetic. You probably saw him on Paranormal State or Psychic Kids, where he basically mentored tiny psychics like it was Hogwarts, but with more crying.
And he lives in Atlanta, where we're from.
And he
Woo.
lives in Atlanta. Just a
Shout
hop,
out.
skip, and a jump. On Kindred Spirits, Chip shows up when things get real weird or really emotional. And he just kind of knows things.
Huh.
He's blunt, weirdly comforting, and absolutely judging both the living and the dead at all times. Together, they're not just ghost hunters. They're like spiritual caseworkers with better outfits. And for a show that's technically about dead people, Kindred Spirits has a surprising amount of emotional intelligence. Anyway, let's
Something
get
that they're lacking on Ghost Adventures.
let's get into it. So this week, Mel is going to get a break on this old haunt because Kindred Spirits appears to kick off with an in-home investigation. So there's not a ton of, in history research we can really do on people's homes. We meet our new gang in an intro that is eerie, dark, moody lighting and faces only illuminated by flashlight and silhouettes. They tell us that Amy and Adam have a combined 30 years in investigating the paranormal. And they also explain that their mission is to rescue families being terrorized by paranormal activity in their own homes, which that did not last as long. Like they don't just do homes, but I think they started off with the show being just about homes. So the episode opens on Amy and Adam at a cafe in Rockland, Massachusetts, and they're chatting. Amy tells Adam that she has a case for a local woman named Megan. She purchased a home 10 months prior, and ever since she moved in, she's been experiencing activity. She's been getting so freaked out that she's been leaving her home. She thought somebody was trying to break into her house, so she installed security cameras. But after watching the footage, she thinks what she captured is actually paranormal. So Amy says that Megan has seen things move, she's had things thrown, and she's heard voices in the house. Amy then hands Adam an iPad with the security footage on it, and she tells Adam that she wants him to listen to it. Yeah, I couldn't wait to hear Mel's take on all of this. So he plays something that sounds like a woman or possibly something trying to say something that sounds muffled like a walkie-talkie. So like all I heard was like when you hear like if you hear somebody trying to talk to a walkie-talkie and it's like static garbling, that's what it sounded like to me.
Wait, is this from the security footage or another thing that was played?
Yeah, this is
Security
no.
footage.
This is when in the very beginning when Adam is watching the security footage for the first time.
Yeah, and the voice says, "Can anybody hear me?" or something.
Yeah.
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 But when they played it, I didn't hear. I just heard like garbled.
Oh, I mean, if I heard that while I was sleeping, I would freak the fuck out.
Definitely. Yeah. If it sounded like somebody was on a walkie-talkie in my house, it doesn't matter where it was coming from. I'd be like, holy shit, I'm going to
Like,
getting out of Dodge. Like,
yeah.
So like me, Adam can't understand it. He can't understand what it was, but he asks where Megan was when this audio was captured. Amy tells him that Megan said she was upstairs at the time. So Adam says he needs to listen to it again, and he's very concerned that it's fake, which I appreciated that they immediately are like, let's see if this is real. He says that it sounds very mechanical, but that they've heard things like this before. And Amy explains that they've heard EVPs that sound like they're coming from a radio or something.
Wouldn't all EVPs technically be coming from some sort of radio?
No.
That was just a bad joke because it has to come from some sort of recording device in order for you to hear it.
No, not necessarily. Okay.
I mean, in order to capture an EVP, you have to record. Is the point, is the joke I was making.
Electrical voice phenomena. Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're technically correct. Because I was going to say, I think I wrote EVP. I think what she meant was that they've heard, like audibly heard things that possibly sounded like they were coming from a radio. So Adam explains that he thinks it could be saying something like, hear me, but he can't make it out. Amy says, imagine trying to sleep upstairs and hearing that throughout the night below you. Yeah, terrifying.
No, I would be under my covers where I'm safe and nothing can get me.
No. So they are going over the facts, and Adam says she's caught something on camera. Amy's like, yeah, be it an intruder or a ghost, both suck. Like no matter what, she's experiencing something that's not okay. They totally agree that they could help her be less freaked out. And Adam asks if Megan has any idea who she thinks it could be. Amy explains that the previous owner who owned the house directly before Megan, committed suicide upstairs. Happens to be the bedroom that Megan is sleeping in, which initially when she said that, I was like, why would you sleep in that bedroom?
Yeah.
I know.
But then they do kind of explain that. But still, I was like, no, there's no way in hell I'd be sleeping in that bedroom.
Yeah.
Also, I wouldn't buy a house knowing that somebody committed suicide in it.
Yeah,
Unless like you got like a really sweet deal on it, I guess. I don't know.
It's one thing if somebody died in that house.
Yeah.
It's another thing if like they took their own life, because then you wonder like, why were they being tormented? Like what was caused? Like what kind of energy? Yeah. So I made a note here that you can already hear how intentional they are being with the words they choose as they're explaining things. Like they say that this woman owned the house directly before her because they want to make sure that there's no room for like doubt in what they're explaining, which, you know, with Zach, he would have made up a whole story about this psychic woman and how she was tormented by a demon. Psychic. Sorry. The woman who committed suicide and like how she was tormented by a demon.
Yeah.
Amy goes on to explain that not only did the woman take her own life, but a lot of her belongings were left behind in the home that Megan now lives in.
Who would leave the previous owners? Well, but actually, I understand because she didn't want to just throw them away. I mean, but like still.
She explains it a little bit that they were going to come pick it up.
But that to me is also weird. Like, and I understand, like, look, if you didn't maybe they didn't have a great relationship with the mother. We don't know the circumstances around it, but still, I don't
But
think
if the family didn't want to pick them up, throw them away. Like, seriously, throw them away. If you're having like experiences, like
yeah.
your family doesn't care enough to pick them up, why do you care enough to hold on to them?
Yeah. I feel like it's a hard thing.
Yeah.
Because then you feel like you're throwing out somebody's like memories. I don't know. It's even though they didn't come and get it. You know,
Mhm.
I like side note, I've been at Goodwill before and found like family photos and stuff.
I know. And
Have you
you're
guys
like,
ever
It's-
seen that?
oh,
It's
yeah.
so
It's eerie.
weird. I'm like baby pictures. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who dumped all these baby pictures at Goodwill?
I know.
Maybe it was a situation like this. I don't know. So Adam and Amy head on over to Megan's house. Amy explains that they are going to walk through the house with Megan to set up a plan based on the spots that she has experienced the most activity in. And then Adam and Amy will try to determine if the different spots in the house are connected or have any similarities. So we meet Megan. She seems to be a very cheery person, or like a very sweet person. Like I got a sweetness from her. She didn't come off as like dark or anything like that. Like we're,
Yeah. I don't know why I liked this, but I wrote it down. I loved like their intro of her, and she was just like looking out the window, staring. And for some reason, it reminded me of Twilight. The angle of when she's looking out the window, she looks like down at them coming into the house. And it was like very much like
Twilight.
Bella in her upstairs room, like looking out at I was just like, weird. Oh, that's like weirdly just like that scene.
I've never seen Twilight.
I haven't
Stop.
either.
You've never seen it.
Oh my God, guys.
I feel like I
Okay.
was slightly too old for it.
I was too
But that
old
makes
too.
sense. That makes sense. Oh my God. I am
But I've been told that I look like what's her face.
Kristen Stewart?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You don't.
I think you're prettier.
You're
than
way
Kristen
prettier.
Stewart.
Yeah.
I hope I'm a better actress.
Dear God, yeah. I mean,
if you can remember to put your mic on.
yeah. I like loved the books and was like a hopeless romantic and was like obsessed with the books. And then the movies came out and I was like, ugh. Which of course I was still obsessed with, but I hated the casting and the way they did it.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Hunger Games too.
Yeah. But I did write another thing real quick about the show.
Yeah.
I wrote the tone of the show. It really reminded me of like, it's way more like TLC Trading Spaces
Oh, I love that show.
than
Or-
the drama
like-
of like Ghost Adventures. It's so much lighter.
Like HGTV a little bit.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
what was the Move That Bus? What was that show?
Oh, yes. I love that show.
Extreme Home Makeover.
Yeah,
Yes.
it just I don't know what it reminded, like the interview style or like their maybe
Like,
it's
we're
because
here to help.
yeah, or like even Queer Eye where they're like, okay, so
It's
where they
so
start
Queer Eye. It
in a
is such
cafe.
that tone.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we've got Megan, she's having this issue. It's that formula
It is.
of reality show. So God, I
Yeah.
loved Trading Space. And what was it Trading Spouses when they switched families?
Oh my God, that's such a good
Mhm.
show.
Yeah.
So wild.
And
Can you
then there was
imagine if
also-
somebody asked you that right now?
There
Lauren?
was also Wife Swap.
Oh, it's Wife Swap. It's
Is that
not
what I'm
tra-
thinking?
Yeah, it's Wife Swap. It's not Trading Spouses. It's Wife Swap.
I mean, that was such a missed
Yeah.
opportunity for a show name.
Yeah. And the
And-
families were like, "Ugh, this mom is crazy. And then they cried by the end.
Yeah, exactly. She's making us become vegan.
Yeah. I remember like coming home on Thursdays and watching it when it aired. Like I fucking loved the show.
Yeah. So Adam explains that while they know the basics of the case, he wants Megan to tell them everything in her own words. So Amy asks Megan how soon after moving in did she start experiencing things? And Megan says pretty much the first night. So she brings them down to their creepy basement.
It's
And
so creepy.
So spooky.
Oh, have you guys seen Barbarian?
yeah,
It reminds me of Barbarian, does it not?
What is Barbarian about?
Oh my god! Barbarian.
Fine, I'll watch Barbarian, and you guys can watch Twilight.
Those are
The basement
not,
reminds me of Barbarian.
yeah. No, Mel, do you like scary movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbarian.
Do I like scary movies?
Okay.
I mean, I'm just making sure.
For everyone who's seen Barbarian,
I don't like gory movies.
I don't want to
It's not-
spoil it.
It's not gory, but this basement is exactly like Barbarian's basement.
Yeah.
and like that hidden door too, exactly like Barbarian.
Yeah. Just watch Barbarian.
Yeah.
Okay. I did also love Megan's accent.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I know.
It was so
she's
sweet.
From Boston.
Yes, her whole family had that. Like, I cannot even remotely do it. I will.
The not a drawl, but
It's
Just
what
the
is
Boston. It's the Boston.
it's the Boston, the
it?
car.
Yeah, but there's like a little.
It's almost like a speech impediment, like almost.
There's something else in there that they do that I can't. I'd have to listen to it again. And
Park the car.
it wasn't. She didn't have the like.
It was. Yeah, it was more.
more rounded.
It was more like Irish to me than that.
Yeah, which I mean that makes sense. There are a ton of Irish people in.
But
Anyways,
so,
the basement.
Yeah, so she goes. We get this creepy shot of Megan turning the lights on in the basement, and she's about to head down the stairs, and like her face is silhouetted by her own hair, and she almost kind of looks like the lady from The Ring, which I was like, man, don't do that to her.
Like Samara. I didn't even notice that.
As she brings Adam and Amy downstairs, she explains that the first time her sister Dana, that's
Dana.
how you say Dana. First time her sister Dana had been in the house, she was heading down to the basement, and all of a sudden she came running out of the house screaming. Which the visual of that to me was amusing.
Can you imagine? Like,
no,
if someone ran out of your house screaming, like you're home.
Well,
that's it. I'm never coming back.
I'd be like, is there a bee?
Dana had told Megan that she was walking down the stairs and saw a dark shadow run across the bottom of the stairs.
Like scurry.
Shadow people living in shadows.
My thing is, and I know that we've all kind of had this discussion about moving, and there's certain circumstances about how hard it is to move.
Mm-hmm.
But let's actually break this down. If you were to move into a home and day one you have paranormal experiences, would you what would you go to? Like, what extents would you go to like actually try to move out? Like, would you try to start moving out? Like,
I think it depends on what it was.
Yeah, to me it depends on the activity.
Yeah.
Like if it's subtle, then I'm probably not going to move immediately, but I might call up like a paranormal investigator or a shaman.
How long does it take for you to figure out, for you to
or would
come
you try
to the
like,
conclusion it's paranormal and not like
try to convince yourself it's not? Would you try to rationalize that?
I would probably try to debunk it and be like, no, it's just the house settling. Or
it's an old house.
Yeah.
I probably put the box on weird and it fell. I don't know, things like that.
It's just
maybe there's a radio in a box somewhere that I haven't unpacked that I completely forgot about. You know, just like that remote we lost on the couch in 2009. Where's that?
Because it is so easy for all of us, like outside, to be like, "Why didn't you move? Why didn't you move?" Like everybody, like in the move outside, like in the audience in the movie, like run this way, like don't run that way, you know.
But like then you think about it, like okay, think about the fact like when you don't have a lot of money, you just spent all this money moving, not just buying
it or whatever.
Not just that, but like moving all your shit
physically
costs a lot of money.
What year was this? Because of the recession.
2016.
Oh, okay, never mind. God, yeah, their outfits look very 2016.
Her hair is very 2016.
The like zip up that
shaggy.
And in Boston too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're like a few years behind too.
Yeah, exactly.
No shame.
No shame to Boston. Boston, we love you. Okay.
Stealthy.
I'm not gonna attempt because I know I can't do it.
So Megan says she feels freaked out when she goes in the basement. But I was like, okay, well, I feel like, I mean, to picture this basement, it's like rickety wooden stairs that you're walking down. The whole basement is like stone walls. Like it's creepy.
It's like a kidnapper basement. It's
Yeah,
the classic where the
absolutely.
kidnapper throws you, or where the scary boiler is. What movie is it? Is it Home Alone with the scary boiler
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
basement?
Yeah. So
or the Burbs.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like, I don't blame her. I think I would be, no matter what, that place just seems kind of creepy and probably like it smells like mildew.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
then
It's
it
got
probably
a
smells
smell.
terrible.
It's like
But-
mothballs, and
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
it probably
forget about
just
the smell.
smells wet
Yeah.
and cold and like minerally, like stone.
Yeah. Not a place I'd want to hang out.
Trying to really paint a picture for you guys. Trying to tap into all of your
Very-
senses.
Like a 4D
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then she points out a very odd looking door and says she never goes over there.
That door had like leather belts.
Leather straps.
Yeah,
hanging
what were
from
those
it.
straps?
And I was like,
Okay.
oh, do you like use those for your fucking cattle and like lifting? They looked like
So-
conveyor belt, like
Okay. Also,
I-
let's also describe the door. It was like 3 feet off the ground.
So
Mhm.
it was a
Was it like a-
shorter door. It was not the full, it was probably a 5 foot tall
So
door.
it looked like,
Floors
it
didn't
looked like
match.
it looked like a crawl space door.
yeah, the floors didn't match though. Like the foundation of the basement was different from the foundation of this room. To your
Yeah.
point, and it's like a plank. It was like someone literally took like planks of wood from like an old barn, put them together, made a door, and then hung it up on
Yeah.
the world's
Makeshift
ricketiest
door.
old.
So I
pin.
actually think those leather straps were possibly like a back brace, like a lifting belt for like if they had
That Miss
moved.
Trunchbull wore, and
Yes, exactly.
But I've seen like movers. Like she said she had moved in like
Exactly.
10 months earlier. I had
Miss
seen
Trunchbull.
yeah.
yeah.
So that could be very well what it
If you
was.
need
We're
to
talking
go-
about the movie Matilda for reference. If you're like, why
Yeah.
do I know the name Miss Trunchbull? It's the principal in Matilda.
If you
Who
need to hold somebody
actually-
hold hostage.
Did you know that the actress who played Miss Trunchbull was an actual like world record Olympian?
No.
What's the thing she does in the
Shot put?
movie?
Or
Yes.
shock or whatever that is.
Yeah.
called. Shot.
I'm sorry, people, that we don't know the word for it, but where you like throw balls.
She was an Olympian ball thrower.
She was an Olympian ball thrower, but they're like heavy balls,
Even better.
and you like swing in a circle before you.
Okay, we digress.
Yeah.
So I had written that the door looked like a dungeon to me. So she tells them that it's a crawl space. Okay. The door itself just looks super creepy. So she encourages Adam to go in there, and he's like,
Shot
No.
put.
I know. Shock put. There we go.
"Oh,
Shot put.
shot put."
Put. Shot
Okay.
put.
Yeah, she
Also-
competed in the
also-
1972 Olympics.
Also, who buys a house that has a basement that looks like that?
Yeah, well, she's acting like she's really creeped out by it. I'm like, you bought this house?
Yeah, you knew
Like-
what you were getting yourself into.
Okay, I'm also confused. I feel like this is a thing a lot where people are like, "Oh, the owner left all of this stuff." Nah,
Um, Like you can have
Where?
them
Yeah,
remove the stuff.
no, when I moved into this house, the family that was moving pretty quickly. And like they left stuff, they didn't leave like their things in the attic, but they left stuff. There were like certain things still in the attic. And then also
always the
like
attic.
behind our fence, like we have a gate.
In the cellar.
There's a sorry. There's a
They
gate
always leave things
door.
in the attic or the cellar.
Anyway, it happens. It does. And my mom moved into a house where the woman who previously owned it had passed away. And so the family had to clean everything out. And I think that I think they hit amount of times where like they have to be out by a certain date. And then they just,
This makes me want to troll people
People's
in homes that I live in and just leave behind like a creepy doll or something. You know, like
Did you ever see? There's like a meme or not
where
a
it's
meme.
like it's your problem now.
yeah, it's your problem,
now. Yeah.
But leave like random trinkets with like little notes or things
Yeah.
that mean nothing.
But people, I saw something where people like intentionally will like they're doing renovations and so
it says, "What's wrong with this bathroom?" Or like they like
no,
hide
not
notes.
they'll hide notes, but they also will like a I don't know, like you have
Skeleton.
like you have all those bones and
Yeah.
intentionally like stick it in the wall
Yep,
just to like
yep.
freak people out.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Oh
my God. I'm
God.
leaving Lauren Sanders. I am leaving that in. And now everybody
We're
can know.
going just to clip together one social piece of all of your belches and call it Lauren Expels the Demons.
Yeah. Now everybody knows.
Exorcise the demons.
Everybody knows who really has a demon in them.
Expelling the
It's
beer
not
with Lauren.
me.
But oh wait, the notes thing real quick. When I was doing the Winchester follow-up, I got into weirdly some sort of subreddit kind of channel, like chat room. Are those still a thing? Is it still called a chat room, or am I just aging us? It was a chat room for tour guides of Winchester, and there was a girl who was commenting about being a tour guide there. This was when I was trying to find the entrances. And the seance robes. I was like, where the fuck did this come from? What did they look like? Where are the hooks? And someone commented in there that apparently the tour guides will hide notes for future tour guides throughout the house.
That's cool.
That you should look at, like, when you're working there, to look into drawers or behind certain things where they like know, and then you put it back and you're supposed to put your own kind of note in there. So it's funny. It felt
Wait, do they have robes there? Do they have the actual robes there?
No, the robes. So actually
don't exist, right?
Yeah.
It's like a
I also learned that pretty much everything that they say about Sarah Winchester is all speculation. So the robes, the fact that she had seances at all, there's no actual real record of it. Yeah. So it's just something that they went with, and now are like, that's what they do with the tours. And even the note about her meeting with the medium over in Boston, that's not even confirmed why she was building the house.
Are you serious?
Like, it's all a fucking lie.
That is insane.
Yeah. Because someone also commented on the seance posts that we did of the fake robes.
Okay. Megan encourages Adam to go in there, and he's like, no, you know how I feel about spiders. But still.
That's the reason.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not worried about the spiders as much as like what you might find in there. But still, Adam opens the door. He peeks inside using what looks like the flash on a small flip phone camera or something. And I was like, this doesn't seem. I was like,
it did seem older than 2016.
It did. And I was like, where is your flashlight? Like, why are we using the flash on your little camera?
It really felt more like 2011.
Yeah, it did.
13, you know?
Okay, so he peeks around to see what's in there. They stick the camera inside of the crawl space to give us a peek inside, and you can see some really old stonemasonry. Gotta love the rocks. You know,
I feel like we should start tallying.
How many times do we talk about
How many
rocks?
times we talk about rocks?
Yeah.
And masonry in general.
And then there's also some bricks in the area that I guess like it's areas where they needed to repair. So they left, like, some of the stone looked like it had been there since the house was originally built, and it was really old. And then there was like bricks and spots that it looks like they repaired. Amy says that they're going to keep this in mind as they investigate. So now Megan shows them where a lot of the previous owners' things are in the basement. Things like wedding photos, baby photos, and like her Christmas stuff.
There was a moment when they were looking, when they walk in the basement, Adam and Amy are like, one of them is like, well, the vibes down here are like real creepy. And I'm like, okay, but that's also just a creepy ass fucking basement in general. Most basements are creepy just because they're basements and they're cold and they're dark and they're basements. But that fucking basement is like top tier creepiness. Yeah. And same with the crawl space. They were like, whoa, that's a creepy crawl space. And I'm like, every crawl space is
Crawl
creepy.
space. Tell me a crawl space that's not creepy.
I won't go into our crawl space because, well, one, just like he was like, I won't go in there. There are spiders. Mine's even more irrational. I'm like, no, there are probably snakes in there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Snakes.
there is a full colony of snakes living.
I was like, they're going to open it and there's going to be people in there. Like,
Yeah.
they're just going to find a whole family. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
that's kind of
Or
where
like,
my mind went.
you find like a like kidnapped victim, or it's like a Nell situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to pause here to explain something. So Mel,
Mm-hmm.
I know we often say you don't necessarily haunt where you die.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say you haunt a place that is significant to you.
Doesn't that also depend on the type of death it is?
Yes, they do say like more traumatic deaths, although we don't know why. It does seem when the death is traumatic, that's almost like somebody doesn't know that they've died because of how fast or like traumatic it was, and so they'll be kind of stuck wherever it happened. So that does happen,
Or like an execution or something where it's an angry.
Yeah. I think that there's different ranges. I was saying that you felt like it doesn't always add up because some spirits can move around and some are trapped, and like it seems like all the rules on the other side are just willy-nilly. But I was thinking about it during this episode. So I think what would be helpful for you is to try to stop thinking about it in a physical sense of being in one location or another, because I think on the other side, you are more fluid. Like I think you're not a physical being in the sense that you and I currently are, where we have we're hands intangible. Like, you know, we see ghosts potentially walk through walls. I think on the other side, if you are trapped in a location, it's because for some reason, either you've convinced yourself you cannot leave, you have unfinished business, or maybe in some cases, like I just said, you don't even know you're dead. Time, technically, if we think about time, doesn't exist in the paranormal world because it doesn't really exist in the real world. You know, the whole time is a construct. So if you're a spirit, do you have days and nights? Do you have the moon and the sun? Do you have time? Maybe not. So to us, it could seem like they're stuck there forever, but for them, it could be a blip in time.
Yeah. Or like in my sense, where I don't know that I believe it's spirits, I think it might be more of a dimensional thing where, again, time is not linear. It's
right.
You know, interstellar.
So if you go back to the second part of that you don't haunt the place that you die, you haunt a place that's significant to you, that also works for objects. So you can think about it as you continue to revisit the people, the places, the things that maybe meant something to you in life. And just like in life, some people are good and some people are bad, and some are introverts and some are extroverts. And so the way they move around on the other side can vary. And so in my eyes, it's kind of like a spectrum, or to your point, another dimension that, like, my favorite movie one of my favorite movies other than the Goofy movie, which your son and I bonded over.
Oh yeah.
The Goofy movie is my favorite movie in the whole world. But my other favorite movie is Interstellar, because it plays on this movie. The Goofy movie is one of the best movies that has ever been written. It is the best Disney movie that exists. Okay. Hands down. And I will fight you on it.
The judgment.
All right.
I will.
I'm
fight
not a
you.
part of this one. Go. Fight. No, I'm kidding.
All right, we don't have time to unpack this, but
okay.
Continue.
Another day we shall.
Anyway, so in my eyes, it's more of like a spectrum or another dimension. So you can move around differently than you can in the physical world.
And this is all, I'm going to try to use the right word because my scientist husband gets mad when I say theory. This is all hypothetical.
But Mel's got a theory.
I know. It probably shouldn't be Mel's got a theory. It should be Mel's got a hypothesis.
It should be Mel's got a hypothesis.
Because a theory has evidence behind it.
Yes, this is
And our
true.
hypothesis does not.
We like to throw around hypotheses all the time.
Yeah, but I'm not in the business of science. I'm in the business of branding, and Mel's got a theory. It just has a much better ring to it than Mel's got a hypothesis.
I totally agree. So yeah, I mean, I think this is my hypothesis on how it works. And to your, like you said, like you're not sure you believe in spirits. I also tend to believe that we don't understand what the other dimensions are and how things work over there. And so, you know, what we see as angels and demons could be aliens, could be ghosts, could be like we gave these things titles, but maybe they're all connected. I don't know. Anyway, I brought that all up because of Megan talking about like the physical things and there possibly being an attachment to the things. And it brought me back to how like a few weeks ago you were talking about how the rules don't make sense and all of that. And I was like, yes, they don't make sense, but I think they also don't make sense because we just can't possibly understand the other dimension because we're not in it. So like we said before, wrapping that all up, we can move back into the story, but I just wanted to like plant that seed of thought.
Well, thank you for trying to.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying
brain in a place
maybe it's like if you try too hard to make it make sense in this world, I don't know that it ever would make sense in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that part makes sense to me. For me, it's, well, how do you know it makes sense in another world when we've never been there and we know nothing about that world? You know, so
we're going to drive ourselves nuts trying to figure it out. Yeah. But like we said before, Megan explains that she tried to make arrangements for the family of the previous owner to come get her things, but they never did. And she doesn't want to be disrespectful by throwing them away. So now they head back upstairs to the living room. They see the security camera in the corner, and Megan explains that the security camera turned off one night on its own. She says the only way to actually turn it off would be to physically unplug it. Like, I guess it didn't have like a power button on it or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think most security cameras are that way.
Yeah. When she went and reviewed the tape from that night, there was a voice on the camera and it yelled out, "Hello, can anyone hear me?" So that is that to me, if it was the same night that it was unplugged, and then I heard on the camera that night, "Hello, can anyone hear me?" I would definitely think somebody was in my house.
Oh my God, yeah. And it was giving paranormal activity, the whole setup. It was like, oh shit, we got the blue tinted security camera in the corner and like hearing weird shit and the camera moving, like.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Are the cabinets going to open in the day?
Things are not allowed to happen in the daytime.
It rocked my fucking world.
So they show us the footage from that night. And again, we hear like a muffled walkie-talkie sound of a woman saying, "Hello, can anyone hear me?"
And regardless of if this is paranormal or whatever, that's fucking creepy. You know, even if there is some radio that was on, or I don't know, say there's a walkie-talkie she forgot about that's in her, is it her nephew that lives with her or something?
Yeah.
That's still packed away somewhere. And someone's going, "Hello, can anyone hear me?" in the middle of the night. Like, fuck that.
That is like, I mean, I don't know if either of you have toys in your house that make noises, but I've heard so many stories of people whose children's toys, like in the middle of the night, will just start talking. And like
my Furby.
So scary.
We put I had 2 Furbies for some godforsaken reason, and we put them in the linen closet, which was really dumb because they would just, they would trigger with the motion and it would be like, "Feed me." And my brother put them in the closet, but then he turned them around. So every time I went in there to get like towels for my bathroom, they would be like, "Feed me," and scare the fucking shit out of me. But
that's so scary.
Yeah. Furby.
So now Megan takes them up to the spare room. So this is on the second story of the house, which looks like it has, I guess all the bedrooms were up there. And that the living room and the kitchen were on the main level.
I thought it's just like a 2-bedroom house is what I.
No, it's 3 because there was the spare room. There was her
Oh,
bedroom, and
and
then
the
there was the
kids.
nephew's.
Yeah.
The nephew's room. I think all those rooms were on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which room
Megan
had the teddy bear? Sorry, was that the spare room,
that was in
or was that like an
the
office?
That was in the spare room. That was the spare room. Yeah. So Megan had her bed in that, what she's calling the spare room. And one morning, I guess she was planning on using that as her master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then one morning after sleeping in there, she heard a knocking on the bedroom door and nobody else was in the house. It was just her.
That I bet.
Again.
The knocking, I would have to. Oh, it was. I guess it was on the bedroom door. She said, or maybe it just sounded like the bedroom door.
Yeah. To her, it sounded like somebody had been knocking on her
I don't
bedroom
know if
door.
you guys, when you were like growing up, where your bedrooms were. That's a weird question. Where I had a bedroom over the garage and the attic was above me, and we always had squirrels. Like my dad had to put like squirrel traps up there, and I had to be the person who unfortunately delivered the news to my dad that the squirrels were back. For a very long time, he was like, "No, they're not," and I was like, "Dad." I wake up to scratches on the roof in the middle of the night, and like I like my bed was in, it was like an A-frame, so my bed was like in the corner, and I had to like duck to get out so I didn't hit my head on the ceiling. So
Yeah.
I would hear them in the attic, and then I would hear them like scurry down the roof. So part of me thinks, especially with what we find out later in the episode, I'm like, oh, that could potentially be a critter.
No, that's what I thought too.
Or old pipes.
Yeah.
Sometimes knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you know, bees in the wall. If you guys have ever seen that crazy shit when there's like a whole fucking honeybee colony in the walls. Oh my God.
Oh, I did. I saw that recently on like
so crazy
TikTok or something.
It's so crazy. The colonies in the walls.
But I will say, like, yes, all of those things could be true.
But yeah, still creepy.
Still creepy. And also if she heard that knocking on her bedroom door just that one time, that also does make you question, because typically, to your point about the squirrels, when I lived in New York City, I could hear rats in the walls of my first apartment all the time, which is normal for New York. Like, unless you're in a brand new building, there's going to be stuff in the walls. I heard them every night. You know, it was like the usual.
They were like your roommates.
Yeah, my unwanted roommates.
Yeah. And also, regardless of, you know, me being a skeptic, whatever, what have you, if I am a woman living alone,
oh, it's scary.
I don't fucking care if I myself knocked my hand on the wall. I'm like, who's here? You know, it's terrifying when you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what that maybe was. But then she explains that after that night, she moved her bed into the room that was across the hall from it. And now that is her master bedroom. Although, guys,
I wrote the same thing.
No, the condensation on my cup just made my cup move again. I like literally got chills through my body. I was like,
gotta get like a koozie or
I need a cup holder.
Coaster or something.
A coaster. Get a coaster.
Yeah.
God. Okay. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. But so she hears the knocking in that one room, moves her bed to the other room, but that happens to be the room that the previous owner had killed themselves in.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm like, that's not better.
Yeah,
That's not better.
rocking a hard place right there.
So Mel, you said you wrote the same thing down. So I was wondering if anybody else noticed this. So as they pan around the room, Megan had what looks like a Ouija board.
No, it was a Ouija board. It was a fucking Ouija board.
Hanging not just above her bed, but off center.
It was so bizarre.
I was like,
was that a choice?
It was too small to be like decor above the bed. Like it wasn't like
worn too.
Yeah, it did not make sense. And I was like, girl, you're having paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
The first thing I would do is get rid of the Ouija board. That would have been my first, like, nope, things are happening. This thing is going in the garbage. We're not.
Maybe when shoot to that point, when Lauren, when you were like, how long would it take you to move out of a house that you just moved into that was haunted? Maybe she was like stoked.
Maybe she was
Oh.
super into it. I don't.
Yeah.
It was, to me, it was like the.
And she's like pretending to not like it or something.
I don't even know if she's
don't
pretending. Maybe there are
know.
some parts of it she didn't like where she was like, okay, well, this shit got weird.
No, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a Ouija board. It just occurred to me. The symbols on it were Celtic.
Celtic?
Celtic.
Sorry. Yeah. Like the
The triquetra. It wasn't.
Yeah.
No. It was a Ouija board.
I'm telling. It wasn't like the Ouija board from the store. That's for sure. Because I paused on it and I like looked at it and I was like, well, that looks like a Ouija board.
I gotta.
How are you going to find it?
Don't worry.
You're gonna go watch the episode right now.
Don't worry about me. You keep going.
Okay. Anyway, Lauren, insert a photo of what we think is a Ouija board above the bed. Now I'm starting to realize that it may have been, because we do learn that she is Irish, it may have been a Celtic piece that just looked
I feel
like
like
a Ouija
I would have
board.
noticed a Ouija board.
No, it was a Ouija board.
It very much looked like it was. What bothered me more, though, Ouija board or not, it was not the right size to be above her bed, and it was off center. Not just a little off center, like very off center. And I was like, girl, get a hammer and at least fix it on your wall.
Or maybe she was working on a gallery wall and she just hadn't hung it up yet. She just moved in.
Well, she invited. Okay.
Stop sitting there. Like, that's what.
Anyway, so Meg goes on to explain that her dog Sadie one night was just staring and growling at the corner of her room. Again, something that's very creepy that animals can do sometimes that definitely freak you out, but could be explained by squirrels in the attic or something. So now they head over to her nephew's room, and she says that the next room is where her nephew sleeps. It sounds like she has more than one nephew and that they sleep in there. Megan says that there was one night where she was sleeping in her room and heard a loud bang against one of the doors. She had to open the door and discover that there was a toy behind the door. So to her, the way it sounded was like that toy had been thrown against the door, and that's why it was back there. But there's no real explanation for that. And then Adam asks her if the windows can open, and she says no. So now we see Adam and Amy entering Megan's house. Presumably, Megan has been sent to a hotel for the evening. I'm guessing they put her in like a Holiday Inn, Motel 6. They begin their setup, much like the Ghost Adventures crew, but without the dramatics of putting X's and black gaffing tape everywhere. They seem to be setting things up like security cameras in all of the spaces that Megan identified, which seemed to be every room except... She identified every room.
What, Mel? What?
It's both.
It's a Celtic Ouija
board. Celtic Ouija board. It's a Celtic Ouija board. Okay, so it's, I don't know if it's like a bronzy color, but it's a rectangle.
I thought it was wood. Yeah.
It's either wood. It's like a shiny wood. But on the right side, there is a triquetra. But below each triquetra, there's a right and left side. So if I am, my visual right here of me is the board. There's a triquetra here and a triquetra here. And then below those two are two pentagrams. And then the middle, it says goodbye. And then there's yes, no.
I knew it. I was like,
it's a Ouija board.
But I knew I saw symbols on it that I didn't recognize, but that it looked like a Ouija board. And I was like, it didn't make sense to me. Okay, that makes more sense. Yes.
Can I?
And that's why I wasn't sure, because I'm like, it didn't look like a brand new Ouija board.
I had to know.
Thank you.
Oh, and it's so
Yep,
upsetting.
you're totally right.
Why is it like that? It's the only thing on the wall. It's so weird to put that. I wonder if she sleeps on that side of the bed too. Now that I'm looking at this, it's so bizarre.
That's
so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
My God.
Yeah. Do you see how off center that is?
It's over where she sleeps. Like that's on a side of the bed.
So bad.
Like, why would you do that?
Like, girl, I have so many questions about that.
It's weird they didn't bring it up.
No, they didn't bring it up at all. And I kind of, I wonder if there's a Kindred Spirits Reddit that we could join. see what
Mm.
people
Ooh,
talk
yeah.
about some of
Yeah.
this stuff. But anyways,
Okay.
so they set up all the security cameras in the spaces that Megan identified. Adam explains that it's their job to investigate the space and try to figure out who could be in the space haunting her. We see a 4-screen setup showing us 4 cameras, one in the basement facing the crawl space, one in the master bedroom facing the bed and the door, one in the nephew's room facing the bed and the door, and then one in the kitchen facing some chairs, the refrigerator, and a desk or a console of some sort. It looks like we can see something just beyond the kitchen. That doesn't really matter. Adam also points out that in addition to these DVR cameras that they set up, so I Googled DVR just to confirm that it wasn't like
Isn't-
some
Isn't
thing.
that like, wasn't that on, like, DVR was, why do I want to say,
Yeah, like TiVo.
TiVo. TiVo, thank you. Oh, yeah. That
I feel like people only in LA did that or something. It was like a weird, like,
What, TiVo?
yeah.
What?
No,
No,
my
everybody
parents
had
had TiVo.
TiVo.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't hear the clicky. God, that
The,
was
like,
so
bloop.
satisfying. The
Bloop.
doot, doot, doot,
Yeah.
Oh.
the fast forward and God, TiVo.
Well, I Googled it because I
What?
thought the same thing. I was like, man, I remember people being like, did you DVR that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
thank you. Thank you. I was like, was it DVD? Was it around Blu-ray? It was attached to something.
No, but when he said it, I was like, what does that mean in relation to these cameras?
Yeah.
So I Googled it. It's just a type of surveillance camera. So I don't know what it stands for, but it's surveillance. He points out that they also have a full spectrum camera. So Amy says she was thinking that whoever is here has probably not had anybody try to communicate with them. So she wants to do a lot of audio investigation to see what they can capture. They agree that they should start upstairs. At this point, I wanted to point out how lovely the cinematography for this show is. Just the subtle things like empty rooms, regular shadows, curtains blowing in the wind. They're all creepy, but they don't have to be like creepy reenactments of a mannequin with its head cut off. Like,
yeah. And they do. This is definitely still in the like shaky cam era. So it was like handheld shaky cam a little bit, which gives that spook vibe.
Yeah. But they didn't have to like spend extra money on like theatrics to make it creepy. Like, you know. So now it is night 1. And just so you guys know where we are in time and space, the history of the home is where we're going to end part 1, and then we'll go right into part 2. So we're getting there. It's only 10:53. Okay. So it is night 1. Adam and Amy head upstairs to the spare room to get started. They begin with a basic handheld digital recording device to attempt to capture some EVPs. Amy and Adam calmly introduce themselves. Amy says, "You probably noticed us in the house all day. We were here with Megan, and she's asked us to come here and talk to you." Adam says, "We want to make it very clear to you that we don't mean any harm to you, and our main goal is to find out if someone is trying to communicate with Megan." He continues, "I know this might seem really strange, but we can't see you or hear you. It's very hard for us to communicate with you."
So I found this really nice, like, and refreshing, that I just liked how they explained to the spirits that they can't be seen or heard. Like, they don't know they're dead. It just added like a layer of
empathy.
Yeah. And also,
compassion.
yeah. And also it kind of, and also the person say, or whoever saying, "Can anyone hear me?" You know, like it put a different perspective on it. But also when they showed their gear, I wrote, "Why does their gear have way less acronyms than Ghost Adventure?" You know, they were like, "It's just a simple EVP. It's not an
It's a simple digital recorder." It's the same thing.
PR
But I
3000.
feel like it's more effective.
Yeah. I was like, and you know, you're about to, I'll let you read this and then I'll check. But I like the way they present the evidence. Like, they do the EVP and then they listen to it immediately.
They listen to it immediately, and they acknowledge when they don't really understand what it's saying.
Yeah, and
They
they
don't-
show when they don't get anything too. Like this is way more.
It's
like,
more realistic.
yeah, I have
in that
more
sense.
trouble poking holes in it because it's not as, to your point, theatrical
Mhm.
as Ghost Adventures is. It's just,
Yeah. It didn't try to create a whole
Straightforward.
yeah, it also kind of makes me want to like just
Do
record
it.
from my phone and be like,
I think that's kind of where we need to just like
Anyone here?
start. I think that's where we start with some of this stuff. Like go to, I don't know, like Lawrence wanted to go to a cemetery, like go to a cemetery or some place, an old house, an old Victorian house. How about that? And just pull out a digital recorder and
I
be
mean-
like, who's here? Is anybody here?
shouldn't I, and this is a question. So I have a baby monitor next to my bed every night and I keep it on the one
Mhm.
sound thing so I can hear.
Does it record or is it just a
It's a stream, but they used them in
They've
Ghost
used them
Adventures.
before. Yeah.
so
it's just like an open thing? Like, does it actually? Can you record it though?
I'm sure I could record. Some of them record. Mine doesn't. But
yeah, no, I'm sure you can. Like my
people
security
hear,
cameras.
yeah, people, that's like a thing, like baby monitor, like interference and people getting voices through baby monitors. Like that's like a well-known thing. So when I put mine just on the first thing, I can hear that like staticky ambient noise. So does that count? You know, I mean, I can, if I turn it up, if I heard something,
Yeah,
you know, and you're like, wait, was that?
it's like a spirit box.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, if you're hearing, like, I think,
And we're fucking recording right now.
yeah. And on some of the podcasts that I've listened to, they've thought they've caught like EVPs while they've been recording. I have never, like, listening to our recordings, I've never caught anything I couldn't explain ever. There are weird sounds that can come through, but a lot of times it's like us gasping or like Lauren burping
Or gulping.
a gulp.
Melanie swallowing.
Yeah. Or like sometimes like I catch my breath.
Mhm.
And so like if you just isolate it, it can sound really weird. And you're like, what the hell was that? And then you're like, oh, that's just me taking a breath.
Well, should
while
we?
I'm trying
But
to
we've
talk.
also never like asked. And you just said you cut. You just, if we walk away, we cut when it's just open mic kind of
Mhm.
thing. So should we just be like, hello, are there any spirits that
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
say something?
Next time we take a break. Also, Lauren, my love, your chin is all the way at the bottom of your video.
Tired.
I
I
know. I'm
know.
so sorry.
I know.
Okay. So Amy asks if the spirit wants to talk with them. They take a nice long pause, like we were just saying. Like they don't talk over each other, which
Mhm.
in Ghost Adventures La Brea episode, Lauren, you pointed that out, that they actually like pause when they're doing EVP sessions on this show. Amy continues, we're looking for someone specifically who may have lived here at one point. Maybe you lived here with your family. Amy goes on, maybe you don't realize that this house belongs to Megan now. They take a beat, and then Amy suggests they play back. Wink, wink. The name of our show is Paranormal Playback for a reason. Okay. They play back the recording. When Amy had asked, do you want to talk to us? I very clearly heard somebody say no. It sounded like, after hearing it a few times, it did sound like a man to me. Initially, I wasn't sure if it was a man or a woman. When she said, maybe you don't realize this house belongs to Megan now, we hear another pretty clear no. And it sounded like it was coming from the same voice.
It was aggressive too. It sounded.
Yeah, it was harsh. It was like, no, absolutely not. Adam says, okay, that wasn't me talking and that wasn't you talking. And I would never say no to you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
They're
that
fun.
is-
I know they're fun. I like them. They're fun.
I was like, that is not true. He says that they need to transfer it to computer to listen to it more carefully, but he agrees that it sounds like they received some sort of intelligent response. So now Amy suggests they explore the room. She goes over to these weird little sliding doors that look like they are above the closet or something. And Amy shudders, oh, with what she thought was a dead animal. turns out it's actually a teddy bear. They wonder if the teddy bear belonged to the previous owner, but while looking in this space, they also notice that there's some rat poop. Oh my God, this house has rats.
Scandal.
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 Amy
Oh my
says,
gosh, this house has rats.
Sorry. Amy says that the presence of a rodent could explain what caused the dog to be growling at the corner of the room. So they head over to the master bedroom, to the area where the dog had been growling, and Adam starts knocking on the walls to see if they are hollow. I.e., could a rat be crawling in these walls? Adam identifies a hollow spot in the walls, and Amy sighs, explaining that this house had been empty for a long time. Adam says that if the dog had only stared at the wall once, then a rodent may not be the explanation, because if there is an animal presence in the walls, it would likely happen more than once.
All walls are empty. I mean, all walls are hollow, though.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
No,
Well, there are studs, so him knocking is kind of like, okay.
I know, but there's there's studs every so.
but especially in those old houses, there could be a lot of insulation in the walls.
Yeah, but there's still, but it's still not solid. Rats still can go where the insulation is. That's still not solid. When he's knocking, he's looking for a stud.
Right.
Yeah, but when he's knocking, that's not insulation that he's knocking for.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I don't really know why.
So every wall is gonna be empty at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know how they.
So when he was knocking, I'm like, yeah, every wall is empty every 8 inches, anyways, or every 10 inches.
I don't
Right.
know if that's how they built houses. However, I mean, I don't know when they did the top floor of that house if they like changed
Maybe
structural engineering.
He was specifically knocking around the corner of that room. Like maybe he was just trying to see like if there was a rat from the spare room. Is there a pathway that it could have gotten into the master bedroom?
Or maybe he was knocking for like a nest in a hollow place like that. I can see like if you're knocking within a hollow, within one of those 8-inch things, and you're like, it's like hollow, 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 like a sound like something is where the hollow thing is what
Adam Berry, rat exterminator extraordinaire.
I do really. And when they were doing this, I love that they're logical.
Yeah,
they use their brains. And they're like, oh, it could be rat. There are probably rats in the wall. Like they're
like, how many times have we said, oh, I wonder if there's cats or mice?
Yeah.
Like acknowledge the realities first.
Yeah,
I know.
But he did. So what he's saying is that if the dog had only stared at the wall once, then a rat may not be the explanation, because if there was an animal presence in the wall, it would happen more frequently, which is what I was kind of saying before. Like if she heard a knocking, odds are she would have heard that knocking more than one time if it was an animal. So if it's only happening that one time, then you question like, okay, what was it? It doesn't mean it's not rats, but it makes you wonder if that could be linked to the other things that are happening in the house.
I'm not discounting that it wasn't a rat. I was just wondering the logic behind him wondering if the wall was hollow. I'm like, of course the wall was hollow. I mean, like,
right.
Just like isn't it just always like every 8 inches that they're studs, or like, aren't walls always like constructed the same way, or is it not always?
I just don't know.
Insulation is different
in
now.
different places. Okay.
And I don't know that homes were insulated at a certain point. Like,
well, and we learned that this home had been built in like 1765 or something.
Yeah. Well, the bottom been part of
studs.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been what's the other thing
that horizontal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wood.
Yeah. whatever that
More
was.
wood. Thin wood.
So they both seem
Construction people.
Construction terms.
So they both seem curious, but not sold on a hypothesis on what's going on yet. I changed the word theory to hypothesis now. Thank you, Mel.
Right's gonna be so happy.
So they decide to head over to the kids' room. They go into the nephew's room and they pull out the digital recorder again.
Plaster.
Yes.
Plaster walls.
I think that is what
I
those
was
are.
like, what? Of Paris? What are we talking about?
Yeah. If they're
Okay.
not studs, they're plaster.
Mm-hmm. So they pull out the digital recorder again. Amy asks, how many of you are here? Takes a pause. How many years have you been in this house? Adam asks, do you have children? Are you male or female? If you're throwing objects to get Megan's attention, now is the time to do it for us. Get our attention some other way. Then Adam shouts, come on, where are you? On the count of 3. Be as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3.
I loved the countdown.
Then Adam's like, it's not ready for those games. And Amy's like, yeah, I don't think it's ready for those games. So they play back the recording to see if they captured anything.
You know, when he did that, it like reminded me of like role playing in the Sugar Shack. Like,
Yeah.
like how extreme
Oh my god.
Zach was.
I'm the
Yeah, when he-
warden now.
Arms
Yeah.
against the wall.
Do you
like,
not like how I put this chain?
like
Do you want me to chain you up?
yeah.
You're a bad boy.
Yeah.
It's like
Back in your cells.
Holly, tell us the deets. Does Zach like to
Yeah.
role play?
Yeah. Does he
The
like to role
prison
play?
guard. Is
Yeah.
he a prison guard kind of guy?
Yeah. Does he like to dress up?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why
Or
Hollywood
any of the
can't-
women coming forward
Yeah.
that he cheated with. What's his
Also, like,
vice?
what's the appeal?
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, they're
Does he like to wear tidy shorts? I imagine a little policeman. Like a
Stripper outfit?
stripper, yeah. With a baton.
Oh
You know,
my
God.
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay, so they play back.
Because he has like a spray tan, doesn't he? I feel like he's
Definitely.
got like a spray tan with like a gel.
For sure. Some
Mhm.
some airbrushed abs.
I don't know if they're airbrushed. He's
Oh, okay, Mel.
Okay, Mel, tell us how you really feel.
have you seen it? You know I got a thing for Houdini, all right? You know, you've seen his fucking arms? I'm just saying he works out.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mel. Okay, Mel. Mel's paying attention over here.
Yeah, his arms are the size of my head. That doesn't mean I want them around me.
Also that. Okay, so they play back the recording to see if they captured anything. And after Adam asked, do you have children? You hear some sort of muffling happening. And Amy says she thinks she's hearing a female voice and it sounds like it's trying to say something, but they can't make out what it's saying. And Adam? That's a new one. When
It was very like Midwestern.
when Adam
Sounds Mormon.
When he hit him. Yeah, that's your Pennsylvania.
When Adam asked if it was male or female, I definitely heard a raspy whisper, female. Amy says she's never heard that much talking come from an EVP before. It definitely sounds like something was trying to communicate. Adam explains that to us that while they do feel like they got some activity upstairs with the EVPs, they don't feel like they're getting any answers to who it could possibly be. They acknowledge that while they know the things that belong to the previous owner are still in the house, they don't know about the home's history enough to attempt to put a hypothesis together. Adam points out that they don't know anything about the land, the house, the place across the street, and they still have big questions about the creepy dungeon door in the basement. So they agreed the following day that they're going to dig into the history of the location.
So wait, is it Mel has a hypothesis now?
No, because we agreed
I
that for
refuse.
branding purposes,
Okay.
theory is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds better.
Yes.
They begin by trying to contact neighbors and historians. So it's the following day, and we see Adam on the phone on what I assume is a fake phone call, because he says, I mean, it could have been real, but I was like,
thought that part was really funny.
he says, "Hi, I was hoping to get some information on a property. We are investigating ghosts, and hello?" He tells us the person on the other line hung up on him.
I loved that. I thought it was very funny.
So Amy tells us she was able to convince the daughter of the former owner to come meet with them. So now we meet Alyssa, who is the daughter of the woman who had taken her own life. She looked pretty young to me to have lost her mother, which made me kind of sad. Like, she wasn't super young, but I don't know, she seemed like she was like 23, and I was like, that's really sad. Amy explains to her that Megan had been having some activity in the home and that her main concern was that the activity could be caused by Alyssa's mother. Alyssa looks stunned at this news, which I felt weird at this moment.
I don't know that was like the right thing to.
I was like, this feels strange. Like, I don't know how long ago this death happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Can you imagine if someone was like, "Hey, we think your mom is haunting this lady"?
Well, and then Amy tells her there's been some paranormal stuff happening, and Alyssa seems intrigued. Alyssa said, this is so sad. She says she wants to make sure that it's not her mom as well, because it's freaking her out, wondering if her mom is okay. And I was like, oh God, like,
so sad.
So sad. Amy asks Alyssa if they had anything weird happen when she lived there. Alyssa says, every day I lived there, I had that problem. So this activity clearly was happening long before the mother passed away.
Which you think, like, what if that had anything to do with the suicide?
That's where my mind went as well. Like, well, what has been happening? Could that have been related? She says that there were times that she was there alone and it would feel like someone was there. She explains that there is a room in the basement that they called the scary room.
Oh.
I did laugh a little. So they took this segment and put it at the beginning as like a teaser, you know?
Yeah.
And she says, well, there was this room in the basement that was scary. We called it the scary room. It's like, oh, did you? The scary room.
So just imagine that they were children.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, they're probably little kids, but
yeah.
So Alyssa says that all the kids felt that it was a little haunted.
I do also think
it's an old house.
Yeah, being in a house like that, you're with a fucking basement like that. Like, what?
Yeah.
What else are you gonna think?
So Amy walks a local historian into the basement. Did you guys see a name?
Mm-mm.
I don't even remember this.
I didn't even realize
the guy.
I didn't even realize he was a historian until he left.
Yeah, I don't think she ever said his name.
Oh, I thought no, he had a little lower third thing.
He did?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but he had a lower third.
I was like, I think he didn't want his name to be used. No, I think in the lower third, all it said was local historian. I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
And then I was like, did I miss his name? Anyway, she wants to show him the crawl space in the basement. So he heads down there. He says it looks like it could be from the early to mid or even late 1800s. So it could be from a 100-year time period.
Yeah, I was like,
oh yeah, I read
big range.
I was like, that's a huge range.
Yeah.
And then he says it looks like it could have possibly been a root cellar, which is something I don't know if you guys have learned about this before, but
I did
when I was looking at houses, we saw a few houses that had these. Things like onions and garlic before refrigerators used to be kept in like
Oh.
a cool cellar type
Mhm.
of place, because
It's like a pantry, but not.
yeah. So Amy asks if this is a common room in these homes, and the historian tells her no, that it's not a common occurrence. He says that it's not common to see something like this that is this deep. He thinks it's much more than a crawl space. He goes on to explain that it's got enough height for people to possibly like be able to move around in there. They can't maybe fully stand up, but like they're not going to be crawling around on their hands and knees. So this makes him hypothesize that it could be from the abolitionist movement and possibly connected to the Underground Railroad. People would take in runaway slaves and try to keep them under wraps in places like this. So Amy asks if he really thinks, like, she seems shocked, and she's like, do you really think this is connected to the Underground Railroad? And he says, with a space like this, it could have been. He continues that if he wanted to hide someone, this would be a good spot to do it. Which I was like, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's so weird.
That was like a big stretch for him to say that.
Yeah.
The Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite like, oh, this was a root
Because
cellar.
also, like, if that was the case, you would think that there would be like a historical marker there, or like, you know, like,
Yeah, but I wonder, like, places like that, maybe not all of, like, maybe people didn't know that that's what it was used for. I don't know.
Also, his facts were kind of like it was constructed to be stood in, almost stood in, and
Yeah.
I always thought like the rooms of the Underground Railroad were places that existed within a house that could be used to hide like enslaved people on the run, and not.
I mean, I don't think it's ridiculous to think that this crawl space could have been used in that way.
Yes, but that I'm saying the way he spoke about it was about the height of it specifically. Like he was like, this is like so somebody can move around in here. So I'm just thinking, okay, so in 1765 or whatever, when this house was maybe built, someone was like, oh, I gotta make sure I make a room to hide people in. But you know what? I really don't want them to stand all the way up.
I get what you're saying.
I just want them to stand almost all the way up.
The only thing I could think is, like, unless it was something that was added like after the house was built type of thing. Like they added that, they like dug further into that area or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Like to me, it would make sense. Like, oh, we have an old root cellar that we used during the Underground Railroad, like something in the home that had an original purpose that was
that
used.
sounds more likely.
Yeah, but to say the way he just spoke about it, like this was made for people to move around with, was just really bizarre.
Like that was the original purpose. Doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I just can't see. I just like don't understand putting myself in the shoes of the person building a home and being like, we gotta put this in here.
Yeah. Or maybe they did plan it and it was just cheaper to not make it stand-upable.
Yeah, and it's not. It's really not that hidden.
No,
it's like,
yeah, I don't know. I would need to do more research into
on the Underground
Railroad.
See, that's why I was like, oh man, I should have done a little Underground Railroad research.
Yeah. So Amy fills Adam in on her findings. She tells him that after talking to the historian, she discovered that the house is a lot older than 1890. She says that the house next door to it that looks nearly identical had been built in 1765. So she explains to Adam the Underground Railroad theory. Adam says that they have dealt with things like this before and that a traumatic experience like running from slave owners could potentially trap souls here. They agree that tonight they are going to focus on the basement. So we are going to end our coverage of part 1 of Kindred Spirits, season 1, episode 1, Breaking and Entering, here. Join us for part 2, where we may just find out what is causing Megan's haunting experiences. And until next time,
See you in the shadows.
goodbye.
Is it a haunt or is it just rats?
They don't fear the whispers. They don't run from the cold. They're a bridge for the broken, a hand for the old. Kindred spirits.